Here is an extra cycle. Hard body with a small wheel in the back. And they are now making this extra cycle minus the whole body. So if you wanted to just buy one and get the addition of the smaller back end wheel, you can get that. And this is something I think is very cool as well. This is something I was telling other people about. Very cool thing here. This is an extra length bike. It's not much. It's handmade in Portland out of chrome moly, and it's only a few inches longer than a regular one. The difference is the front wheel is built in such a way, probably that frame gives you the clue. This wheel here can be turned around. When it's turned around, it takes up the difference between being the regular length one and the shorter one. So since this is a few inches out, this body is a few inches longer. When it's I can't gauge it, it's 2 or 3 inches out this way, but when it's turned around, it's 2 or 3 inches shorter than what it would be. So if it's 2 inches longer than it, 4 inches longer than it would be, and the pop out here is 2 inches, then the extension, this fork, when it's turned around, this usual 2 inches, this 2 inches that's further out from this thing will double back down to 4 inches. So, and this is probably why this frame is curved like that, so that it can accommodate the wheel that's further out here, and so that you can put this on a regular bike rack. This is good for transporting a kid on here. And this is hand built in Portland, Oregon out of chrome moly. And I believe there is a place on Hawthorne, further up Hawthorne, that possibly has something to do with this one being built. And the extra cycle here with a smaller wheel, I believe I had something to do with it. I was telling someone about my idea, and then I went in and it was built. The Madsen. My idea was just to basically rip off these guys' idea, which is just an extra cycle, but it would have been an extra short one. Just an extra cycle that was just putting down an extra 3 inches, and I didn't have in mind having it as long as they did, and then I'd be able to drop the thing down, the rack down 6 inches, which is exactly what they've done here. It is 3 inches. The wheels, basically it's 3 inches lower in the back end because of where this 20-inch wheel is, and the 26-inch wheel in the front. So my idea was to take an extra cycle and just slightly change the angle on the back. But my original idea was just to have a simple bracket on the back end of the bike that would just pop it out 3 inches back and 3 inches down, because my opinion would be it would still fit a regular bike rack. It would still fit in a regular bike rack with the back wheel just 3 inches back, what my thinking was that the 20-inch wheel would be virtually, now imagine this on the back of another one, this regular bike, and it's here, the regular spot. Now just imagine if this one was back 3 inches back and 3 inches lower, and the back end of that wheel and the front end of that wheel would be in exactly the same spot as if it was a 26-inch wheel in the front, as that one is, and the 20-inch wheel in the back as if it was the regular 26-inch wheel, the back end of it. Although I think the geometric would be slightly different because of the fact that the way the front wheel is not exactly, it's down there is where it engages the rack. So there and there would be the crucial part, where if you had the smaller wheel it would be the same size, but it would still be further back this way because it's lower. And so if it was 3 inches back, it would be a little more problematic because of the fact that you probably actually couldn't actually get it a smaller one, because then where the rack would touch the back at the bottom of the wheel would be closer there, and it's actually closer, so you actually probably couldn't actually put the small back wheel in the back. You probably actually need the smaller back wheel slightly further forward than that originally. So just 3 inches down will be more problematic because the round wheel where it engages the rack. So my whole thing was probably off, but my whole idea was to have just that idea. And the extra cycle people now have this. I'm sure I'm not the first person that came up with the idea, like, oh, you can have a smaller wheel in the back and a bigger wheel in the front. I'm sure I'm not the first person, and will probably not be the last person either. And there. And these Workman bikes, I have a Workman tricycle. It's an American-made one. But these are very expensive bikes, and this is an expensive bike. These are all very expensive bikes, and this one is geared so it would go low gear, very good for low gear, and it has an extra high gear there. That chain there, that's an extra high gear that helps you get up to speed more. This one has one as well. But this front gear one is slightly smaller, which is slightly nicer if you want to go extra up. If you want to go up a hill that's more slower, a more harder hill to climb. And I don't see the price on this one. Made in England. This is an English-made one, and that wheel there is made to collapse so that when it